watching Wyln TV. We're your local network.
Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Investigators were on scene this morning in Wilkes-Barre Township after a man was found dead in a vehicle. The vehicle was found off of Casey Avenue shortly after 6 a.m. after allegedly crashing into a dumpster. An unidentified 56-year-old Wilkes-Barre resident was found inside. The cause of the death is unknown at this time, but police say the death does not appear to be suspicious. A former police officer has pled guilty to federal charges after being accused of pressuring women into having sex with him while he was on duty. 30-year-old Mark Eicher entered his plea in U.S. District Court. He will get a 12-year prison sentence for using his position as a police officer to pressure 5 detained women into having sex in order to avoid being arrested. Eicher was fired from the 3 departments he worked for while the incidents took place. As part of his plea, he will not have to register as a sex offender. Eicher is scheduled to be sentenced at a later date. A man accused of stealing a car earlier this month with a 12-year-old boy in the back seat was taken into custody Tuesday. Ryan Bush allegedly tried to steal the vehicle while it was parked outside of a bank on West Main Street in Plymouth. The boy's father got into an altercation with Bush to try and stop him from stealing the vehicle. The car and child were found shortly afterwards. Bush was charged with robbery of a motor vehicle and theft by unlawful taking. Bail was set at 10% of $10,000. An accident in the city of Hazleton that involved 3 parked cars led to the arrest of a West Hazleton man. Police responded Tuesday to an accident at the intersection of South Poplar Street and Carlton Avenue. 42-year-old William Doherty was operating a Honda Sonata that struck 3 parked vehicles. Officers recovered crack cocaine, pills, and drug paraphernalia from the scene. Doherty was arrested and charged with possession of drug paraphernalia, DUI, and careless driving. The West Hazleton Borough Planning Commission approved a proposal yesterday to expand a strip mall off of Route 93. One Trinity Real Estate submitted design plans to expand the Valmont Plaza in West Hazleton. The firm proposed building a 76,000 square foot structure to the right of Lowe's. There are also plans to put either a restaurant or retail space near Big Lots. A former department store building once home to Hills will also be redeveloped. The plans will be presented next month to Borough Council for final approval. If approved, construction could begin as soon as next spring. Voting machines and a 911 communication system were the 2 hot topics discussed at last night's Luzerne County Council work session. County Manager David Pedri presented his case about recommending a proposal from Dominion Voting Systems. It was one of the 3 vendors that submitted proposals to Council for a new voting system that leaves a voter-verifiable paper trail. Pedri said it was the least expensive of the 3 companies, coming in at a cost of $3.6 million. Council may vote next week on Pedri's recommendation. Also, a proposed contract from Motorola to update their 911 communication system from analog to digital was also discussed. Council previously approved a long-term borrowing package to pay for the 911 upgrade. The contract with Motorola includes 20 years of maintenance and support. Also at last night's council meeting, members voted to hire a new healthcare provider at the Luzerne County Prison. A 3-year contract was approved with Wexford Health Sources Incorporated to provide services at the prison at a cost of $2.83 million in 2020. The current provider, WellPath LLC, has been providing care since 2015. The firm faced backlash after 4 female inmates died between June of 2017 and January of 2018. 3 of the 4 deaths were suicides. The contract with Wexford includes an increased focus on mental health services. The transition from WellPath to Wexford will happen over the next month. The contract with Wexford begins January 1st. A Dodson Elementary School special education teacher was found not guilty of driving under the influence. 37-year-old Jamie Lynn Andrews was accused of using prescription drugs when she crashed into a wall near her home in Laughlin, September of 2018. She also faced charges in another case where she was accused of throwing rocks at the home of her estranged lover, Jeffrey Wakawiak. Some charges were withdrawn back in March after she agreed to pay restitution to the family. All charges were dismissed in June when both Andrews and Wakawiak refused to testify against one another. In holiday news, it was Thanksgiving for breakfast this morning at the Salvation Army in Hazleton. The Salvation Army's annual Thanksgiving breakfast took the time this morning to serve and welcome those in attendance. Reverend Bonnie Camarda said this morning was all about giving thanks.
We have a feeding program every day, a breakfast every day of the week, Monday through Friday. But today is special because Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Then we have volunteers from different churches, from different places in Hazleton. State Representative Tara Hill is here, and we are serving breakfast. And then after breakfast, some family will go home with a box of food. Then it's a special day because we give thanks for what we got to share with others.
Reverend Bonnie was working alongside the Salvation Army's two pastors this morning, serving hot Thanksgiving breakfasts to those in need.
We love doing this stuff. Usually we don't serve, then this is a special. You know, we do it every day. It's just, that's what we do at the Salvation Army, reach for those, the least of this, and give a hands up. Then this is really part of our mission, serving people. And we are serving people, then we feel great.
State Representative Tara Hill was also in attendance and was honored to be asked down to be a guest waitress.
I'm honored to be able to serve this community, and then today I get to literally serve food and help out, which it really feels good, especially around the holidays with Thanksgiving. A lot of our constituents that we see all the time in our office, and people are in need, and I think we have a great community, and there's more giving that goes on in this community than people know about. We really pull together as a community.
Hill said serving this morning was not only a great Thanksgiving activity, but also served as a reminder of what some in the community go through every day.
Just that understanding that a lot of us are one paycheck away from needing help with meals, needing help with housing, so it's a good reminder.
Those in attendance got to enjoy some toast and sausage alongside eggs, orange juice, and coffee, while having the option to take home as much bread as they needed. Coming up on WYLN News, one McAdoo playground has once again opened its gates to children. Plus, it was Founders Day at MMI. But first, let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Well, tomorrow for Thanksgiving it looks cloudy, at least it'll hold up. High of 40 and a low of 28, and Friday, partly cloudy, a little bit of sunshine. High at 36 and a low of 23, but Saturday and Sunday and Monday, watch out for the roads. We'll be right back.
For 4 generations, All-American Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has been treating their customers like family. Stop in to get the lowest financing options and best service around. Whether you're in need of a Ram pickup or have an active family lifestyle or simply want to show off your fun, adventurous side, All-American Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram of Tamaqua has a wide variety of inventory to choose from. Stop in for Employee Pricing Plus at the Black Friday sales event.
CARES is a local and family-owned agency dedicated to providing exceptional services for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout Pennsylvania. CARES specializes in day and residential services, respite, home and community, behavior supports, and chaperone vacations. At CARES, the participants are the VIPs. CARES, empowering individuals to maximize their opportunities and potential in their community.
You've seen university advertising. A student like me pitching you the same old ideas. But I'm not gonna do that.
Instead, I'm gonna tell you what you can do with a Penn State degree. You can help anyone. Go anywhere. Create! And with 20 campuses to choose from, you'll always feel at home.
Look, Penn State is amazing, but your best years are just beginning. Come find out for yourself.
A playground in McAdoo has been reopened after closing back in September due to suspected drug activity. Borough Council voted earlier this month to reopen the Adams Street Playground. Police shut it down back in September because of reported drug activity, Police will still be on the lookout for that drug activity and now have a zero-tolerance policy from Mayor Dane Watro's office. The policy includes strict enforcement and prosecution for drug activities, fights, and anything else that jeopardizes the safety of residents of McAdoo. It was Founders Day today at MMI Prep. Wyln's Rhino Sachi has more on the celebration.
This afternoon, MMI held its annual Founders Day at St. James Episcopal Church in Drifton. A church service and wreath-laying ceremony is held every year to show appreciation to MMI's founder, Eckley Cox, and his wife, Sophia Cox, for all their contributions they made towards the school. Seniors of MMI took part in the wreath-laying ceremony at the gravesites of Mr. and Mrs. Cox before the service to show their respect. MMI senior Kai Meal had the honor of placing the wreath at the gravesite.
It's really special to me because it's been a tradition that's been a part of MMI for such a long time, and just being able to be a part of it, and probably the biggest part I could possibly play in it, is just really meaningful to me. So I've been kind of nervous and also anticipating it for a while now, just being able to really just remember Sophia and Eckley Cox for what they've contributed to MMI as a whole.
MMI senior Andrelli Puntiel is in her 4th year at MMI, and she felt this ceremony shows how special the school really is.
It really made me realize that this is the place to be. Like in all the areas, this is the school to go to. To really get this close to it in only 4 years was really special to me, especially today.
First-year head of school Justin Kleinheider experienced this ceremony for the first time and is grateful to now be a part of this tradition.
One of the things that's really impressed me since I started here is that for 140 years, Sophia and Eckley Cox started a vision that has had a tremendous impact on Freeland and the community and students all over. And they've gone thousands of miles and changed thousands of lives, and I think that's just so important. And I was a history teacher myself, so honoring these traditions like we are here today at the church and having students lead an assembly to remind us of how far we've come in the last 140 years is really important.
Kleinheider feels just looking back at all of Mr. and Mrs. Cox's contributions they made is very humbling.
Really feel really humble at the traditions that are here, and that I'm allowed just to be a part of it and be with these students that are really special and making a difference every day. And it makes me more and more grateful, especially this time of Thanksgiving, for understanding the world that we live in and the world that we're making for our children, and even my own.
Reporting in Drifton for Wyln News, I'm Ryan Osachi.
Thanks, Ryan. Free flu shots will be available next week in Luzerne County. The Wilkes-Barre City Health Department will be providing free flu vaccines Monday, December 2nd from 10 a.m. until noon and 2 p.m. until 6 at the Kirby Health Center located at 71 North Franklin Street. The free clinic is part of National Influenza Vaccination Week. For more information, you can call 570-208-4269. Coming up on Locust Dale's News Choice, we talk carpal tunnel on this Wellness Wednesday in Community and You. Plus, we'll have the details on the Anthracite Railroad's open house and a few races this holiday weekend. Stay with us.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
There are 125 used car dealers in town, but there's only one Churras. Quality vehicle since 1954. Voted the best used car dealer. Check out their inventory, see something you like, take a test ride. Churras Auto Sales. Call 570-454-7229. Is your computer not running as good as when you purchased it? Good news! Take it to Hazelton's only retail and repair shop, Hazelton Computer Incorporated. They will get it running like new again. Located at 50 West 23rd Street in Hazelton, next to Churchill Auto Sales.
Blue White Tailgate provides the in-depth breakdown and analysis of the Penn State Nittany Lions football team and their upcoming opponents. Jay Paterno takes you inside the film room to analyze the key plays and formations that will decide the outcome on game day. Watch Blue White Tailgate on WYLN TV 35, Friday night at 10:30 p.m. and Saturday morning at 11 a.m.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesday here on Community and You on WYLN. I'm Gary Perna, and today we're on location at the Health and Wellness Center, and I'm with Dr. Abbasi, and we're talking about carpal tunnel. And we hear a lot of people saying, my wrists hurt, I think I have carpal tunnel. But doctor, is it really true when most people come into the office here, and they're saying, I've just had this pain, it really hurts. Is it truly they're feeling some carpal tunnel, or is it just pain?
It could be a number of things. It could be tendonitis or wrist pain on the outside of the wrist. It could be, which is an overuse injury. They could have arthritis depending on their age. It could be nerve related, which could be carpal tunnel, or it could be other types of nerve related syndromes that need to be diagnosed or misdiagnosed. So there's a number of different things wrist pain and hand pain can be. There's locking syndromes like trigger finger. I don't know if people have heard of that. So there's a number of things that need to be checked out before we can kind of call it carpal tunnel. So it's always good to get it checked out.
So if somebody comes in to you, what would be the first step for them, and maybe the first step for you, and starting to look to see if it is truly carpal tunnel?
Well, we always start with kind of what's going on, the history, the physical examination is very, very important. And for me, that's the most important part of my assessment is what's been happening, how does it happen, when does it come on, and that's usually 80% of the battle, and it's kind of figuring out what this is going to be. After that, once we get a very, very good idea, if we feel that it's nerve-related versus something more muscular like tendonitis or capsulitis or arthritic conditions, then we may go ahead and do nerve testing or a nerve study called an EMG or nerve conduction study.
So right now we know, and we've heard for years, that you have carpal tunnel, you have to go for surgery. Is that true?
No, so the reason we do the nerve testing is because we want to make sure that it's not a pinched nerve coming out of your neck or a pinched nerve coming out of your elbow, and that it's truly a nerve at the wrist, and that you don't have any other nerve syndromes that can affect all the nerves in your hands, which is kind of like neuropathy, like sometimes diabetics have, or people with thyroid-related conditions. So when we do the testing, we can find out the severity of the pinching of the nerve in the wrist, because carpal tunnel is actually a pinched nerve in the wrist. Mm-hmm. And so the way we treat that is dependent on what classification you fall into, mild, moderate, or severe. And usually when it's mild, or even in the early parts of moderate, we usually start with bracing, where people wear braces at night.
Now, I know the carpal tunnel, it's in the wrist. So we see a lot of people who are on keyboards all day, or who may be, working at machines or computers where they're constantly moving. But are there other types of, I guess, maybe nerve problems that they could have from other types of movements that they're doing?
Right, so a lot of times nowadays we're doing a lot of texting on our phones, so there's sometimes nerve impingement happening at the elbow when we're bent too far, and that can also manifest with numbness and tingling, but it's usually in these two fingers, what we call the fourth and fifth finger, rather than the first three fingers, which are more common in carpal tunnel. Okay. Nice. But you're right, actually, as going into some of the treatments, talking about keyboarding and positioning at work, that's actually one of the treatment options. So another treatment option is, hey, what's your workstation look like? And we can get occupational therapists involved. Occupational therapy is one of the treatment options, with stretching and hand therapy, and getting them to even assess the workstation and adjust things just enough so that you're getting less issues at the elbow and less issues at the wrist. And that can make the difference between having an operation and having things progress versus not.
So again, real simple, that don't be afraid. If you're having pains in your wrists and your hands and you're not sure, and you're thinking right away, you go to, oh, it's carpal tunnel, oh my God, I got to go for surgery. Not true. You can come in and there's many options we can go before that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have the syndrome. I use chiropractic. Dr. Gavio does a Graston technique on my wrists. There's injections that can also be done. So there's a wide variety of things, and they sometimes can be in concert to kind of manage these symptoms before it gets bad enough to warrant surgery.
All right. So you heard it from the doctor. So if you're having some of those problems, give them a call here at LVHN and get an appointment and see, because you don't know until you get in and get an exam, so you're sure what your next options are. Thanks for joining us here on Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
Life is full of partners. Your health deserves a partner too.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square. Have your event with Whitetail, graduation, birthday, bachelor, reunion parties? They have the most tranquil backyard experience with beautiful mountains in the background. If your company or business wants a different alternative to a golf outing, they have outings that can accommodate you. You can have the entire facility to yourself. They will work with you to set up your day of events. Sporting clay competitions, trap and wobble trap games, skeet. After a day of shooting, you'll return to a meal designed for you. Call Mike at 570-535-6123 for available group options.
After Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow, you may want to get out and take in the scenery at the Anthracite Model Railroad Society's open house. Our Julie Stefanovich has the details.
All aboard for the Anthracite Model Railroad Society's open house. It's a unique experience for people of all ages to come out and see the displays put on by the Society. Much time and effort goes into creating the realistic-looking towns, trains, and scenery.
About doing the open houses, I love to see the kids and their enjoyment that they get from this.
President Jim Hoig has a passion for the art of model railroading and has been doing it for the last 45 years.
We've been doing them in this building for more than 20 years, and we were in another building before that where we did them for about 10 years. And what I find most enjoyable is just running trains.
He encourages people to come to take in the history of the area as told through the displays.
Of history from mostly around the Hazleton area. There is some of Bethlehem Steel area. There's Jim Thorpe. There's a little bit of Pottsville, a little bit of Eckley. The Eckley Miners Village is modeled quite well, and there's just some other scenes that you would like.
The first open house is Thursday, November 28th from 5 until 8 p.m. Then, this Saturday and Sunday from noon until 4, followed by every weekend from now until mid-January, with the exception of December 14th and 15th. Admission is free and donations are accepted. The Anthracite Model Railroad Society is at 1056 Hanover Court in Hazleton. For more information, call 570-678-5956 or visit amrclub.org. In Hazleton, for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovich.
Thanks, Julie. If you're looking for something interesting to kick off the holiday season with and chilly weather doesn't faze you, the 11th annual Berwick Holiday Speedo Run for the Cause is coming up this Saturday. For the Cause's annual Speedo event, presented by Heller's Gas, kicks off at 2:30 p.m. this Saturday, November 30th. Registration for the Speedo Run is $30 day of and starts at 11 a.m. at Berwick Elks. The grand prize for Best Outfit is a $100 Visa gift card, while second place gets a $25 one. Winners will be announced following the run at 3:30 p.m., and you must be present to win. For more information, be sure to check out the event's Facebook page. Berwick will also be hosting its annual Run for the Diamonds tomorrow morning. The Run for the Diamonds annually takes place on Thanksgiving Day. The 9-mile road race in Berwick started back in 1908 and has only been canceled twice. The race will kick off at 10:30 a.m. and close its finish line around 1:30. So be sure to take the race route into consideration while traveling through the Berwick area tomorrow's Thanksgiving morning. And that's the news. Remember, you can get news updates on our Wyln News Facebook page. Stay with us and have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. A look at today's weather is next here on Wyln TV.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name